What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing our pistol caliber carbine comparison. We're at the range right now and we're going to be comparing the GHM9 with this budget build option here on the Moriarti upper. I didn't say that right. That is the Moriarti upper, sorry. So basically what we have here is just a basic comparison. We're going to be firing Subsonic PCC 115 grain so that it is loaded just with a little bit less powder to make the round go below the speed of sound. So it is then subsonic. We got both magazines filled up right now. The chamber's empty where we're going to be ready to fire. For the first test, we're going to be running this one and we're going to take the suppressor off and fire it as it is intended to be fired from the factory. This is a tri-lug, so let's see if I can get this off. I think the sling is getting in the way. But then for, I think, a more fair comparison, we're gonna run this can and then compare it, because this, even though this is a tri-lug adapter, this does not have a muzzle brake. Now, however, this does have the hydraulic buffer, which should make this easier to fire compared to this, let's just say, budget build that I put together with some spare parts and this Moriarti upper. I did run a Mike Foxtrot upper side charger. It was horrible, as I mentioned to you guys earlier in one of these shorts, but now I just put this upper on it. This is running a pistol caliber carbine buffer tube, so it's a little bit heavy. It wasn't pleasant when I first fired it, when I first built it, but I do now have a tanker muzzle brake. So as they stand right now, it's a bit of a, I would say it's kind of an equalizer, but we're going to find out right now. I'm having the feeling that this is going to recoil a lot better. We're going to go ahead and fire the B&T Grasshopper mouse, which is the more Gucci build. We're going to come up right now to the range. We're going to fire 5 rounds and compare and see what that recoil is like. We're going to come up to the berm. I'm going to fire 3 shots from the chest here and see how much muzzle flip we get with this firearm. So we're pretty much ready to shoot. We're going to go hot, and then we'll do the same with the other rifle. So here we go. 3 shots, subsonic, unsuppressed. Pretty good, actually. It's barely moving, even with the suppressor on, so we're on safe. You can see that it barely moved at all. And we're going to go back to the line and get the pistol caliber carbine, the built, the PDW. We're going to make clear. We're clear. Now we're going to take this guy, go down range, get our subgun mag. Now, one advantage as I come up to the range is that this runs right off of any Glock mag, so that's pretty cool. And I go ahead and just C-clamped it. That's how I'm going to fire it. I do not have a vertical grip up front, but I C-clamped the other one, so it's going to be basically the same. I'm going to go ahead and fire, and we'll see how that recoil does. So we're going to go hot. Subsonic 115. And that was a failure. So, failure number 1. Let's do that again. Okay, so you can see pretty consistent grouping downrange, but did move a little bit more. So, is it really noticeable? Yeah. If this did not have this tanker muzzle brake, this would be moving a lot more. Now, it's not completely unmanageable. Do realize that 9mm doesn't recoil a lot. We're going to make clear, and we're going to run the Grasshopper mouse fully suppressed as this fails to come out. Oh boy, okay. We'll get that out. There we go, clear, safe. Somehow got a 9mm slug pop out. That's pretty funny. So let's put this back in here now and go down range. All right, can is now on. We're gonna grab the mag and fire another 3 rounds on target. Ready to fire. Okay, so now this is 115 grain subsonic ammo. Same ammo running through both different fires. Somehow this is kind of different, so much smoother. We have a little failure there. Yeah, putting the suppressor on this does help it fire a lot smoother. I do have to say that. So for our next comparison, we're going to be doing a build drill. And we're going to do that on the shot counter. I'm going to remove the mag, make safe, and we'll do a build drill. Shot timer is somewhere around here. I'll grab it. Stay right here. Alright, so we got our shot timer. By the way, these are X-Treme Bullets. Sorry, I'm a little under the weather. X-Treme Bullets. They're manufactured right here in Miami, so look them up. They gave me these this whole box of 500 to test out, and so far so good. I'm kind of happy running the suppressed. Again, these are 115 grain subsonic. They're loaded with a lesser powder charge, which makes them inherently just run subsonic. So I'm gonna make this ready to put this on a delay, and we're gonna go ahead and set this up ourselves here. We're gonna change to a random start, and that should confirm it. This is a random start, and we're gonna be doing a build drill. Now, specifically for the build drill, I'm looking for controllability when firing it, and I'm gonna go ahead and test that now. Red dot is on. We're gonna start with the grasshopper mouse, and then we're gonna go back to the tanker. We're gonna take both lines up to the line. Sorry, both guns up to the line. Set this one down on the ground and do our build drill. Now the build drill is 6 rounds on target from about 7 yards. We're gonna move up to the line and commence firing upon the activation of the dot. This is about 7 yards right here. I'm gonna get my sling on. Okay. So safety's on. We are working the safety, guys. We work the safety on. I'm gonna start at the low ready, which is the base of the target. I'm gonna tap this, and when it goes, we're gonna fire 6 rounds on target. We had a jam there. So we'll go again, because we did have a jam. That was pretty good, though. One miss. Gonna go back to safe. 151. So pretty fast. I missed that last one. More than likely, looking at the splits, I would have been, 0.17. So we're realistically talking about 168, 169, 170. We're gonna set this down, and we're gonna run. Put it on safe, and we're gonna run the other one. All right. Glock mags. It's dirty a bit. It's well seated. I don't have a sling for this rifle, so we're on safe. I'm gonna get my pager back on and do our build drill. Okay, there we go. chamber check, ready to fire. Safety's on, ready for the bill drill. Oh, misfire. Not sure what happened there, but so inherently these aren't the best. This is the Frontier, lower, so not great, but it is a budget build, so we're gonna go again. Another failure. One more try. Failure again. So, not good. We have a double feed here, so probably my fault there. Let's try that one more time. Run one more time, and if it doesn't work, then we're going to go ahead and call this test over. I think clearly the budget build's kind of been determined already to be a little bit inferior than the Gucci build. That was pretty good. Down it, back on the ground. Let's check our times. We're on 6. We're picking up the neighbor's shots, unfortunately, so I can't tell you. I'll take a look at the splits. I have to do that again. Hopefully, we have enough rounds. All right, we're gonna go now. Failure again. Oh. Can't get this to run reliably. All right, so we're gonna call it quits with the subs. Gonna go down range and back to the line, back to the actual table, sorry. And see if I can put some other rounds in here that might fire. Actually, just stand by real quick. I actually have some on me. So these are full power. Intended to run on my Glock 19 that I have here. This should run. So I do want to point out that this is the advantage of having that mag compatibility. It is lighter, so potentially I should be running faster. On safe, let me fully extend that. All right. 6 shots. All right, let's take a look at that. 1.23, so that was pretty good. I was cooking there. These are full power loads, so definitely with this muzzle brake and possibly some QC issues, I should say, that the subs aren't running great on this. For full power, it looks like this runs just fine. We'll run another drill just to confirm that. Yep, we're definitely on there. This is running much better on full power. We're gonna do some more shooting with the full power just to confirm some stuff. Sorry, that's bizarre there. A little bit of parallax here. Red dots seems to be shifted a bit. Yeah, definitely, guys. Runs much better with the full power loads. So I'm not counting it out yet. I will say that it leaves a little bit something to be desired for, especially if you're running subs. Now keep in mind, this is a gnarly muzzle brake. This is a tanker brake. We're gonna go ahead and fire some more on the grasshopper. See what our times will look like. I think we got just enough to do a build drill. We're gonna go ahead and run a build drill right now. Actually, let's do that again. Oh no, trigger is down. Well, that's not good. So it looks like we have a problem with our trigger, and right now what it looks like to be is the trigger pin fell out. As you can see, that is not good. So we're gonna go ahead and see if we can find that. That is a major problem for reliability issue. So I will likely have to reach out to B&T. This is not a good indicator for this gun. I don't know if the suppression might have affected, but for right now, we're gonna call the test over. And I'll give you my review. Overall, I do think, aside from the trigger pin coming out, which is definitely a problem, this is a smoother recoiling system. And that is basically because of the hydraulic buffer that it has built into the back end over here. Having said that, we were running subs for the initial comparison, and it did run them much better, but it didn't make a difference really that much with the suppressor. I believe it ran just as smooth. And you can look at the, you can actually look at the film and you can kind of discern that for yourself. Talking about the tanker build here, I actually ran horrible with the subs. I don't know if QC was an issue with the rounds, but overall, if you're running full power, as you can see, it ran phenomenal. Ran every single round, no problem. And for about $900, which is roughly what it's going to cost you to build something like this, I think definitely it is a good budget option. The recoil with a muzzle brake is really negligible. I would love to do another test with this suppressed, and maybe we'll do that in the next video. Again, if you want some specifics of the build, we'll drop them down in the description below. But this is basically a pistol, thank you ATF, and a basic 9mm lower with a Moriarti upper and a tanker brake. We're running a Scholarworks Leap 1.93 mount on a Vortex red dot, and it takes standard Glock mags. So nice if you're, especially if you're carrying a Glock, to have compatibility with your pistol caliber carbine. Not necessarily something I would say is like a battle gun, but definitely something nice for home defense, and pretty neat little build. So I will be testing this further and reaching out to B&T. And oh, look at that. Look what we found here. This is that is your trigger pin that fell out. I'm not sure if that was because it was suppressed or what, but we'll wait to hear back from B&T and see what they have to say about that. Anyways, guys, I have really nothing else for you guys. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you guys found this video entertaining, you can subscribe to the channel. I hope you guys found it also informative. Comment and drop some suggestions below if you want to see something else on the channel. We'll be more than glad to do the videos. We love to hear from you guys in the comments, and that is what moves the channel forward. So thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.